to actually get some some light on in here. Let me move you closer. About right there. I think we're good. What's going on, guys? It's Alan. I am back with yet another one. The last video that I had recorded, excuse me. Sitting sideways, guys. The last video that I had recorded was speaking about the things that I was going to be talking about on the channel. And now I kind of wanted to tie in some things with this wealth transfer and the things that are happening and the things that are going on. But first, for us to understand the wealth transfer, we need to go throughout the Bible. Okay, during the time of Joseph, there was a wealth transfer. There have been several wealth transfers throughout the Bible, and so this is the same thing that God is doing at this time is a wealth transfer. So, and a lot of people don't really think that it's a real thing, but if you go and you study the Word, like you go throughout and basically study the Word, there have been several wealth transfers throughout the Bible, but I'll be talking about those things on here, but I really wanted to get on here today and tie in with the financial system and just the different things. I wanted to talk about the financial system, and I also wanted to speak about real estate in general. So, and I wanted to talk about those things. So, to start, so I'm going to talk about basically the financial system and why it's important for us in the kingdom to understand this next move of God. Okay, it's very important for us to understand this new financial system because it's critical. Okay, this is very critical. So let's go back about 40, 50, 60 years ago. So in 1971, Richard Nixon took us off what's called the gold standard. Okay, and so what the gold standard was when dollars were equally pegged to gold. Okay, but because we didn't have enough gold in reserve and for dollars, we didn't have enough gold, so we were taken off the gold standard. And so what that did was that made the United States and all of these countries around the world basically print more money at vast rates. Okay, so, but let me explain something to you though. So when you, well, first let me say this. The United States dollar is the world reserve currency of the entire world. Okay, that means that there were other countries that were also trading and buying and selling goods in dollars. Okay, so if a country is buying and selling goods in dollars in that country's currency, the United States dollar was considered as the world reserve currency. Okay, so that means that basically the whole world traded in dollars because the dollar was the superpower, the strong power of the world. So anyway, we were taken off the gold standard. But when we were taken off the gold standard, that made the U.S. and all of these other countries able to print more money. If you print more money, you also have more debt. Okay, so the more debt that you have, the more money that you have, the more dollars that are in circulation. That means that the higher prices in goods are going to be. Okay, so that means that the more dollars that are out here in circulation, the higher prices of goods and services and milk and bread and eggs and all of these other things, the higher that these things are going to be. So with that being said, I don't have any charts or anything like that right now, but it's a big correlation between all of these things. So since we were taken off of the gold standard, okay, this was 1971 when we were taken off the gold standard, we saw in 2008 where the markets had collapsed because of the housing crisis. It was a credit default crisis. A lot of people weren't paying their mortgage. You had people, you basically had people who were getting a mortgage for like $300,000 and like say they worked somewhere at like McDonald's or Burger King. You know what I mean? So they weren't really qualifying these people. They were just writing loans that, you know, these people weren't even qualified for loans. So that's what collapsed the entire housing market. And with that being said, some guys, I don't know if y'all have ever seen this movie, but this movie is called The Big Short. And there were some guys on Wall Street that worked for a company, and they basically shorted, okay? They shorted the American housing market because everybody said that the housing market wasn't going to fail, okay? But the housing market actually ended up failing, okay? They said, oh, the U.S. housing market is strong. It wasn't strong, okay? Because of these defaults, because of all of these people who defaulted on their mortgage, that is what collapsed the system. And so all of these things, they all tie hand in hand into what we're getting ready to go into. But let me say this, when these guys, go watch The Big Short, the movie The Big Short, guys, when these gentlemen, they shorted the American housing market, that means that they knew in their mind that the American housing market was getting ready to implode. So what they did was they placed their best bets forward, okay? They knew it was going to implode. So what did they do? They betted that it was going to implode. They betted that it was going to fail. And in that them knowing that it was going to fail, they profited off of it. They didn't just profit. They majorly profited off of this short. They majorly profited off of this. Okay, that's why the movie is called The Big Short. And for all of you who don't know what I'm saying, short means you're going to sell. Going long means you're going up. Okay, so short is sell, going long is up. Okay, so they knew that the market was going to go short. They knew that the market was going to go down. Okay, so, but they automatically knew that. Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at. So let me, okay, help me, Holy Spirit. They knew that the markets were getting ready to go down. They knew that the market was getting ready to collapse, okay? This was back in 2008. This is the same exact thing that's happening right now with all of the banking collapses. We got banking collapses. We have major layoffs. Okay, we have massive number of banking collapses. Well, let's not say massive. I think another wave of banking collapses is getting ready to come. But we have banking collapses. We have major layoffs. Okay, we are now getting ready to see major corporations start to fail. We're going to see major corporations start to fail and fall. Okay, that's what we're getting ready to see next in this next move. So, but with that being said, okay, we were on the gold standard once before, okay? Now we're moving back to the gold standard, okay? But we're doing it in a digital way. This is what's happening around the world. You have all the countries around the world are breaking away from the dollar, and the dollar is no longer becoming the world reserve currency. This is why cryptocurrency is getting ready to become the world reserve currency. I'm not just speaking about one cryptocurrency. I think that we are getting ready to go into a multinational, to a broad-based. I think we're getting ready to go into a multinational currency, honestly, I want to say generation, okay? This is going to be kingdom wealth. This is going to be wealth on a level that we have never, ever seen before a day in our life, okay? And I've been in cryptocurrency for 5 years now. So, but to tie all of these things in, okay, to tie all of these things in, Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard. We were able to print more money, more dollars in circulation. More dollars in circulation means higher prices of goods and services. Okay? And so with that being said, it's been about 40, 50, 60 years past. So now we have an increase in the market. The market is up, okay? You know, the housing market's not doing well now, but when it was doing well, the stock market was doing well. All of these things were once booming, okay? And the markets actually were overinflated, okay? Most traders would call that oversold or overbought, whichever one. Excuse me, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But the market was too high, it was overinflated. So now what the markets have to do is they have to bring the markets back down to levels that actually make sense. Okay? With all of these things happening right now in the banking system, the banking system is getting ready to change forever. Okay? Cryptocurrency is getting ready to be the multinational different cryptocurrencies. It's not just one currency. It's going to be multiple currencies in this. Okay? So it's not just your Terra Luna. It's not just your XRP. It's not just your Bitcoin. It's not just your Shiba Inu. It's not just those currencies. It's going to be a multinational currency type of thing. Okay? So, with that being said, let me give you a little bit of history. So I read a book. I've read 2 books by 2 economists already. One was Klaus Schwab's The Great Reset. And the other one was The New Great Depression, written by James Rickards. So go pick those 2 up. The New Great Depression. Let's see if I can find it right here, actually. So here it is right here. James Rickards. Let's see if it'll zoom in. I hope it zooms. Yeah. I might have to turn it the other way, whichever way I had to turn it. But this is The New Great Depression, written by James Rickards. When I read that book, there were several things that stood out to me. Because he said in this book that in Weimar, Germany, and the other guy said this too in The Great Reset. Actually, hang on, let me show you. This Great Reset, Great COVID Reset, okay? This book right here. Both of these 2 economists said the same exact thing in those books. And one thing that they said was in the time of Weimar, Germany, when the currency collapsed, okay, the whole country went into hyperinflation. Okay, but James Rickards said something a little bit different in his book. He said the same exact thing, but he also added something. In the New Great Depression, he added a little something in there. And let me tell you what he added. He said in Weimar, Germany, 1923, 1929, I can't remember what year it was when the currency actually collapsed. But he mentioned that it was an industrialist. Listen to this, catch this now, who had these assets. Okay? He said it was an industrialist that had these assets, that held on to these assets during the time of hyperinflation and the currency collapsed. I didn't write this. This man said this in his book, okay? At the time of the currency collapse, catch this now, the assets went up in value. This industrialist actually ended up becoming super, ultra, mega rich. Okay? Because the gold, the silver, whatever he had, the bonds, whatever bonds that he owned, whatever gold or silver that he owned at the time, went up in value. Okay? So these things actually ended up going up in value, and this man became really rich. And what he did was he bailed out banks around his area. He bought houses around his area. Not only did he buy houses, but he also funded the banks. He bought food for the people. Okay? This was during around the Great Depression time, but this was in Weimar, Germany, though. Okay, so about that time, the whole world was kind of in a depressive, a Great Depression state around that time. So, what I'm trying to get at is that was around in between 1920 and 1929 era. Now, what I'm trying to get at right now, okay, is this is the same exact thing that's happening. Okay? This is the same exact thing that's happening. I'm going to say that with confidence, and I'm saying that to you right now. But it's on a whole nother level. This is more of a spiritual thing than it is a physical thing. This is more spiritual. Because I also believe that they had the Azusa Street revival around those times too. Okay? So where people were, people were crying out to God. It was revival going on. It was, healing going on. People needed God. People needed him. Okay? So this is the same thing that's getting ready to occur. But it's up, but the Bible says that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Okay, so that means that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. That means that God, everything that they got over there, it looked like the wicked is prospering right now, but they really ain't prospering, God. It looked like they prospering, but God is really saying that that's your wealth. I stored it up for you. Okay? So this is what's happening right now. This is a spiritual movement. This is not now it is a physical movement. Like, we're going to have to be moving. Kingdom people, we're going to have to be moving. Okay? On our P's and Q's. Okay? God has got us, though. He's got us. Okay? So, but let me say this. Let me tie all of that in together, though. With all of those things that I just said, at the time of Joseph, the story of Joseph, he had to go through promotion. Potiphar's wife accused him, all of these things that happened to Joseph. But then Joseph actually ended up being, not a ruler, but he was over the land. He was essentially over the land. Okay. So this is the same thing with Joseph. Cryptocurrency, wheat was the bread that fed the people, that Joseph fed the people. The wheat. Hey, well, I give you some bread if you give me a cattle. I give you some bread if you give me your land. I give you some bread if you give me, your XYZ. So this is what Joseph used to acquire his wealth, was the bread or wheat, barley, whatever you want to call it, okay? Cryptocurrency is going to be what the kingdom uses to acquire its wealth. Okay, you follow me? Cryptocurrency is going to be what the people of God use to acquire their wealth. Okay? The banking system is collapsing all around us. Okay? It's not safe in the bank. Okay? So this is what's going on. This is what's happening right now. And we need to be in position for it. So what I'm basically saying is this: cryptocurrency is getting ready to be your wheat. Did you hear what I just said? Cryptocurrency is getting ready to be your wheat. And you about to go out and acquire the land. God has been showing me signs. Like, God speaks to me through numbers. He speaks to me through the back of tags. He speaks to me through billboards. Sometimes he even speaks to me. People will say a number, and I saw that number just a few minutes ago. But he shows me these numbers. Okay? He shows me these numbers, just to let me know, hey, I'm still with you. I'm still walking with you. I know a lot of people are going through the wilderness season right now. Okay? I know that. But you got to have faith. You can't, look, I'm going to tell you something. It's stuff in my life that I done been like, God, I don't know how you're going to come through, but I trust you. Boom, he come through right there. He do. I can't tell you. He just does. He's like that. Okay. He is I am. He is I am. I'm not cutting this video. I ain't cutting none of this video. But crypto is about to be your week. You're about to acquire real estate, all types of lands, everything. Okay. Go out and possess the land. Go out and possess the land. God's been showing me, well, that's what I was saying. He's been showing me these numbers, and those numbers I go to my Bible, I say 589. Like 589 is a number that I doggone near see every single day. I see that number every single day. Okay? I'm not lying about this. I'm not making this up. I see that number every day. If I don't see 589, I see 89 every day. Well, Lord, what is 589? 589 is Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8, God is basically telling us about the promise that he's getting ready to give us. He's talking about the promise. 9 speaks about, hey, don't forget me when I give you this promise. The wealth transfer is a real thing. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. Because the world and global systems are collapsing as we speak. They're collapsing as we speak. I would never pray on anybody's downfall or nothing like that. But it's imperative that the people of God, that we have to be in position for what's to come. Okay? We have to be in position for what's to come. In real estate, I'm going to say this in real estate. I had predicted months ago, I knew that home sales were getting ready to deteriorate. I knew that home sales were getting ready to come down. Okay. When the price of goods go up, let me give y'all a little economic lesson right quick. The prices of goods and services go up. Okay. What happens when they go up, wages typically stay the same. And in that, when these wages stay the same, it starts to make people, their money tight. Okay? When inflation goes up, wages stay the same, it makes money tight. Not only does it make money tight, but it also brings a toll on real estate. Okay? It also brings a toll on real estate, but let me tell you why. Because if people can't pay their bills, then how are they going to pay the rent? And if they can't pay their rent, then how are they going to pay the landlord? And if they can't pay the landlord, then how the landlord going to pay his mortgage? You feel me? So this is what's happening. Real estate is coming down as of right now. Okay? But it's about to go all the way down. Real estate is about to go all the way down. And cryptocurrency is getting ready to go all the way up. So that's the thing about it. When God says, go out and acquire the land, cryptocurrency is going to go up, real estate is going to go down. That means that the real estate that you want to acquire is literally getting ready to be pennies on the dollar. Pennies. It's not just real estate, though. It's not just real estate. It's also businesses. It's companies. It's cars, houses. Literally, it's boats. All of these things that the Lord has told us to go out and acquire. We're getting ready to be able to go out and acquire these things. This is a real thing. This is not for play. This ain't for play, guys. Okay? This ain't for play. It's not. So, I hope that this video creates some clarity to what's happening right now in the markets. It's only a matter of time that cryptocurrency goes to the moon just like that. Only a matter of time. People are going to be acquiring businesses. People are going to be acquiring houses, land, cars, boats, apartment complexes. Like nobody's business. And these are the things that are getting ready to happen. I'm confident in this. I'm confident in this because everything that has happened and everything that has transpired in this economy that I said years ago is happening right now. We're getting ready to go back to the gold standard. Cryptocurrency is going to be the new gold. We're going to have cryptocurrency tied to gold. Cryptocurrency is getting ready to become the gold standard for the whole, the world, okay? Banks have even already implemented ISO 20022. Banks have already implemented it. It's already in place. Only thing they got to do is hit the button. That's all they got to do is hit the button, guys. That's all they got to do. So, I just wanted to be obedient and get on here and share what I knew. We are about to have multi-generational wealth. Multi-generational wealth. Don't be upset that we don't see it yet. It's okay. Don't be upset that you don't see it yet. It's all right. It's okay. It's coming though. It's coming. I was in Matthew reading the other day. We're going back through the four gospels again. And I was in Matthew and the disciples, Jesus. I'm gonna tell y'all this story and then I'm gonna get off of here. But Jesus this was when Jesus was getting ready to walk on the water. Okay? and the disciples were in a boat. Okay? Listen to this now. The disciples, they were in a boat. And they looked. And they was like, is that a ghost? And they saw that it was Jesus. They saw that it was Jesus. Okay? And if they saw that it was Jesus, Peter called out, he said, Lord, if that's you, then let me come to you. If that's you, Lord, then let me come to you. So what did Peter do? Peter steps out the boat and he gets ready to walk on the water. But the Bible says that the wind was so contrary. Some of y'all's lives, everything that's going on right now, it's like this wind, it's a rock. It's going back and forth. All of these things that are happening in your life right now. People, whether it's people provoking you, whether it's your job, whether it's your kids, whether it's whatever, okay? Things are happening all the time. The Bible says that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against demons. Okay? I'll just call it for what it is. But Jesus had called to basically he told Peter put his feet out on the water and was going to walk to him. And he was walking. He was walking on the water. Peter was walking on the water, y'all. But the wind was contrary. Kept on rocking. That wind, he just got scared. He got scared. Okay? When Peter got scared, what happened? He started to sink. When Peter got scared, he started to sink immediately. Okay? Peter called out and said, Lord, save me. And Jesus reached out his hand and saved him. But Jesus said, ye of little faith, why do you doubt? Why do you doubt? Ye of little faith, why do you doubt? Okay? During this time, we have to have faith unimaginable. Faith unimaginable. Everybody's in an uncomfortable spot right now. Everybody. But you have to know to have faith unimaginable. You have to have unshakable, crazy faith. That's the only way we're going to get through this life. The one thing that Jesus hated was the spirit of unbelief. Well, his other things he hated too, but the spirit of unbelief is something that he hated. Why are you doubting me? Why are you doubting what I can do? Why are you doubting what I can do for you? You feel me? So, look, I just wanted to get on here and be obedient and share what I knew. Cryptocurrency is getting ready to become your wheat, just like the time of Joseph. ISO 20022 is already in place. The banking system is crumbling. Real estate's getting ready to go down. Really go down. And you're going to be able to acquire all this land. You're going to be able to acquire all these riches. More than you can carry. Couldn't even carry it all. Couldn't even carry it all. You ain't even going to be able to carry it all. But I just wanted to get on here and encourage everybody. Listen, be blessed. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.